Hello and welcome back to Spotlight Indie. We have freed Dawn and Frasier from their shackles on the moon, and we have let them back to the Spotlight Indie studio to have another lovely chat with them this week. So, hello, Dawn, and hello, Frasier. How are you both doing this week?
Doing great.
Yeah, doing awesome.
Good.
How are you doing, Alex?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, I've got two of my favorite people here to chat with, and the recording's going super well. I've not frozen at all. It's all going super well.
How was the Earth over the past week?
It's felt empty and bereft of joy, seeing as you two have been on the moon. We need you back.
I can believe it. I can believe it. Yeah,
absolutely. There was like a shortage of chocolate ice cream, but I assume that's because you guys just took it with you.
Yeah, sorry about that. My bad. Yeah.
It's okay. We know you're not sorry. So for those of you who have forgotten since last week, because obviously you've all watched last week's video, Dawn and Frasier are soon to release a book they've written together called Moonful of Silver, which is a really great sci-fi western on the moon. Do you want to give another quick sort of run through of Moonful of Silver? Question mark.
Go for it, Dawn.
No, you go for it.
Oh, no, I did the last one. It's your turn.
Yeah, but you did such a great job.
Think Sergio Leone in space. Think Fistful of Dollars, except the moon version, and it's just cool sci-fi goodness, spaghetti western goodness. It feels like one of those classic kind of, sci-fi books that hits all the familiar beats, but hopefully takes you into somewhere new. So yeah, we just hope everybody enjoys it. But yeah, Moonful of Silver. How did I do that time, Dawn? Like, come on, you can add stuff to that.
If you like sci-fi and you like westerns, why not put them together? And we did. It's really great.
Yeah,
I can confirm it's a really, really great read. I've done a lot of fantastic stuff. Last week we were talking about like putting elements of world building on the board and playing with them, and I think they've got a really great sort of pulling the tropes of those, as you said last week, Fraser, like there's universal tropes of sci-fi western, and putting them on the moon basically. And I think they've, they're the things you sort of have set up just run deep as well. Like there's a lot of different things you do with them, which is really interesting. So go pre-order Moonful of Silver. But today, rather than focusing purely on that book, although we'll wait for you guys to pre-order it, we're going to talk a little bit more about the indie author experience, sort of the indie journey, and things you might have learned or sort of challenges that you may have faced on the journey as well. So we did touch on last week as well, you guys co-writing this book together and doing that as a joint project. So if I can throw, I guess, I'll say throw Dawn under the bus, just to get you to answer the first sort of question. What would you say has been sort of the highlight of your indie, like the thing you most enjoyed about the indie journey?
Creating the stories. Definitely creating the stories. I mean, that's the whole reason I do it, is for the stories, to get the stories from my head onto paper. And it's great when people buy them and like them too. But I mean, I started out just doing it for myself.
Yeah, that's often the best way, isn't it? Just to make sure that you're, doing it for yourself, because then you don't have, if you don't sell any, which obviously we hope you sell 1 million copies, but then you've already got that sort of tick box because you've written the story for yourself. Frasier, what about you? What's your best thing about the indie journey?
Oh, just having the freedom to be able to explore in whatever ways that you want with stories. I think that stories are so special. They are such magical things, and it's so easy to take it for granted that we can do this, but the real joy of the indie experience is that you get to do it on your time frame with the stories you want. You're only accountable to yourself, so you're not having to think about, right, what does the publisher want, what does the editor want. You're just thinking, right, what does the story want? And to be able to write with that kind of freedom is a real joy. So yeah, I love the indie experience for that. And I think that is something that is unique to the indie experience in lots of ways. Unless you are sort of the most successful traditional author who can write anything and the publishers will take it. You have a lot of work to get there through trad, whereas you've already got there as an indie. You are your own what's the expression,
Your own master.
yeah, let's go with that. You are a slave only to your story and not to any other being, which is great. But I find that there is, that there are so many joyful aspects, because the other joyful aspect about it is that you get to interact with creatives who are all doing that. So the space in which you interact with people is just so much fun. And it's so supportive because everybody realizes that what we're doing is really special, and we're able to do it in this really unique way that only really exists in the indie form. So yeah, whenever you get that and you build that support network and you get that community, there's something really, really lovely and special about that in itself. And yeah, I love that aspect of the indie experience as well. You know, your writing family are just the best. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that's, I think, probably, you know, that you both kind of said this, very touched on the same themes there, and I think that is the really big key thing about indie publishing, as you say, Frasier. You know, you've got these trad publishers, if that's the route you want to go down, that you might have to crowbar something in potentially, or sort of cut things because they might not fit with what is selling, or just if you aren't writing something that's selling, then they're just not going to pick it up, and then you kind of have to go the indie route anyway. Because I know that there's sort of several indie works I can think of off the top of my head that trad publishers probably wouldn't pick up because they kind of skirt the line of like, oh, it's got this element in it, but it's not fitting that basically romantasy sort of mold that we want it to at the moment. But then, you know, they do very well indie wise because that's still readers still want them. They're just maybe not 500,000 readers that the trad publisher needs to make it worthwhile.
Yeah, I would have hated to have tried to write this as a romantasy. Can you imagine?
Oh, yes. No, I can't do it. I can't read it. I mean, if that's your thing, that's great, but it's not for me. You would not want me to write romantasy.
I could see it being much more tragedy than...
Yes, exactly. It would be very tragic.
But like with this book, so you know, we had this real clear vision of what we wanted, and then we got to do that without any interference. We just got to have fun with that. Even like the title, we had this title, Moonful of Silver, which was obviously a play on Fistful of Dollars, and you know, we got to keep that. We didn't have to have it changed at the last minute because of a marketing thing. We got to, so all of these decisions that we got to make, you get to see that out in the world. And yeah, it's a really, really special thing. The key to it though is that you have to hold yourself accountable to the stories that you're telling, because it's very, very easy. That's the slippery slope of it. And it is something that I've fallen into in the past, is this trap of, because you can write anything, you feel as though, right, okay, I can get away with writing this, or you have to hold yourself to a higher standard, as if you are regulating your work, as if it's like it has to be the greatest book ever written, otherwise it's just not going to work. So that's the thing with where the indie experience has to originate in passion, because otherwise what you get is a product that you then don't want to release. So the only way that you want to put a product into the world is if it is the best that it's ever going to be. And I think that's something that we've been writing this book for a while, but we got the story to the point whereby we were both like, okay, yeah, now it's done, now it's ready. So it's nice having somebody else, like having Dawn, to be able to hold me to that standard for a change, because yeah, she's a much nicer boss than my brain is. So but that's something that is that isn't there in the indie experience, that is something you have to learn, I think.
And Dawn, did you find, like, similarly, like Frasier saying there, that it was more useful to have, or helpful to have rather, another person directly working on this story, where you can kind of bounce off them and maybe stoke your own enthusiasm for the story if you were feeling maybe a bit low with it? Was that a good thing to have?
Oh, definitely. Yes.
I can mute him so he doesn't hear it if you need to be honest. Like, we can kick him out for a minute.
It's definitely a very good thing. I think feedback helps. And when you're working with somebody directly, I mean, you get it like right away. But yeah, even though, yes, I write my stories for myself, but in order to put them out there, like Frasier said, you have to make sure it's something people want to read. That doesn't mean compromising my story. It just means making sure it has all the elements that people want. And I think when you have two people working together for one story, that really makes that happen a lot easier.
Yeah, I've always had this issue of like, when is the story done? I don't know when I have to start working on it. It's so nice to have someone else and just go, do you think the story's done now? And they go, yeah, I think so. Yeah, like
it wasn't quite that simple, but yeah.
yeah, but it became that simple eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, that's what they say about sort of any artwork, isn't it? It's never, you can keep going forever. It's never done. You know, you don't reach the same point as like, oh, I've finished the calculation. There's no equal sign at the end where you go, oh yeah, no, cool, awesome, I'll just put it away. Then you have to kind of step away. So I could definitely see how being able to bounce that off somebody at the very least, if not have somebody like, it wasn't Dawn going, Frasier, step away from the keyboard. We're done with this. It is finished. So yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, no, it's great. I think that's the other thing, is that working with somebody, you're feeding each other's passion. So knowing, because Dawn is part of my writing family and has been for such a long time, she's like my OG beta reader. So in previous episodes of Spotlight Indie, when we've done the No Such Thing as a Stupid Question, we've been talking about beta readers. When I've been telling people about how you find the best beta readers ever, I found Dawn, and I've been so lucky for that. But I know that Dawn is going to hold me to that standard because she has done over all of my different books. So it's one of those things where, when you've got, I think the relationship that we had when it came to writing together was a really nice one, because we both love each other's writing, but we also both helped each other with each other's writing. So we knew that we had this vibe where it was going to gel. There wasn't going to be any kind of fallouts or any kind of, well, I think this or I think that. We were just feeding each other's passion, but we were also feeding each other's, because we both want to learn and grow. We were feeding that part to each other's journey. So Dawn would write something, and then I might say, what if we did this instead? And Dawn would be like, yeah, let me try it. Or I might write something and send it to Dawn, and Dawn would say, but if you do that, what about this? And I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, let me go fix that. It's like, it's a really lovely, I don't think that the book belongs to one or the other of us. There is this lovely fusion within the book that it is very much ours. Because there's no chapter that is just singly one or the others of ours. It's just it is very much this sort of this shared experience, which I really love about it. I think it's great.
I think that's really nice as well to have that. Yeah, that sort of, if you say, oh, what about this, then what about that, and then for somebody else to be like, yeah, you also need to change this though, don't forget. Like, that's if you are working on a solo writing project, having somebody who just tap you on the shoulder, but by the way, don't forget in chapter 4 you mentioned this, so you're going to have to change that.
Right. Yeah, it's what if we try this instead of change this, which was what a publisher would do.
Yes. Yeah. Totally. The vibe is great when you're writing with somebody who's got that sensibility of, when they're an expert in storytelling in their own right, and you have confidence in them because you've built that relationship over time. I think it's just great. It's just, it's so much fun. So I would 100% recommend collaborating with indies, but just make sure that you've got that in place before you start, because I think this would have been a very different experience if we were both coming into this fresh. Like, if a publisher had thrown us together, we would have been like, whoa, hang on. But that's the kind of thing that you can do with the writing family you develop. You know, you can have fun. You can share these ideas and projects, and it's just great fun. And that again is like kind of unique into itself. I can't imagine. To me, the only other closest thing that it comes to it is like, music, when you get two really great songwriters that come together and they write a song together. It's like Lionel Richie and Kenny Rogers coming together to write Lady. That's what this book is. It's the spaced version of that. Yeah.
Cool. I'm just gonna make a note of the timestamp, because that's the That's the bit we'll pull it apart. There's your
That's the
promo,
bit to
eh?
edit out. Yeah.
Oh no, that's the bit we put on social media. Okay, so that's a good thing about working, Indian and in the indie life is the kind of the relationships that you make and the freedom and just the joy that you can spark with fellow indies and the freedom that you have with that. So, are there any particular challenges that you would maybe want to flag? I mean, there are quite a few challenges specifically, but some of them can be quite granular. So, are there any challenges that you, whether it's about collaboration or about the indie journey more generally, would want to like shine a spotlight on and maybe potentially suggest how you've sort of navigated those challenges?
There's marketing, of course. And then nowadays with a bunch of scammers out there, you just don't know who to trust. So even people who are looking to get to get published by a traditional publishers, you have to watch out. It's so difficult. It's gotten more challenging since I started. I mean, I started out, I did get scammed by a so-called agent once by about $10,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a very real possibility. And I think it's a greater possibility nowadays. So fortunately now I know what to look for. I know what to watch out for. I mean,
yeah, there's an adage in there that money always flows to the author. So for those sorts of things, I think it's a good thing to keep in the back of your mind that if somebody's asking you for money, then they're probably, I mean, obviously versus a service that you're offering, like if you're hiring an editor specifically, but like, if a publisher comes to you and says, we'll publish your book if you pay us $10,000 or, however much it might be, then do not
do it.
Do not do that thing,
Yeah, but people don't know that. They don't know.
Exactly.
They fall for these things. We'll publish your book, and then they go and publish it. The person they hire just goes to put it on Amazon, which is free.
Yeah.
So it's like, what'd you pay them for?
Yeah,
absolutely.
And that's where the learning of the indie author experience comes in. And that's another challenge, is that there are so many more things that you have to learn than just writing a book. You have to learn how to do all these things yourself. If you were to send this book to a publisher, they would title it, they would come up with a cover, they would come up with a marketing strategy, they would come up with a marketing budget. They would have people in your corner that you could go to and say, could you get in touch with so-and-so about this, that, and the other? You have to do all of that as an indie. You have to learn how to become a publisher in your own right, and you have to learn how to find people to do your artwork, how to find people to do all of these different things, and then work with them. You become it's so vast, the number of skills that you have to learn, and if you're willing to learn it, you will find real joy in it. But at the same time, it can feel really daunting to new writers. So what I would say is just don't try and look for shortcuts. Just look for things that you're going to be able to learn from and put into practice, because the quicker you can learn those things, great. But don't fall for I'll do it for you real fast. It's like learn enough about it before you commit to anything is probably a good bit of advice that I wish I'd been told. So,
and it's interesting, as you said, about learning about how to do something as well. And with learning anything, you can kind of find the joy in doing it well. So if you can have these processes that you don't know anything about, go and learn about them, and then you probably figure out, well, actually I quite enjoy making sure I've got this marketing plan put together quite well. Doubtful. Nobody enjoys marketing. That's sort of a universal.
Writers do.
Yeah, some people do. Some people enjoy marketing. Some people formatting. They're not normal people, but they are people. Like
exactly. So you'll learn about these things that maybe not writing or formatting, but you'll maybe want to do it. You in the learning of it, I find is often where you can find the joy, because then you know how to do it better, and that inquisitive mind that you've put to your storytelling skills then can serve you well in other areas.
I tell you another challenge as well, that is really lovely that we were able to overcome this by working together, is that as an indie, you don't have a publisher coming up to you and saying, well done for sending this in. That's absolutely fantastic. It's just what we needed. You don't have any of the celebratory, but you don't have like your agent sending you flowers on the day it gets published or anything like that. What you have, what we've had for this project is each other to be able to be like, that was awesome. That chapter rocks. Like, you feel it was such a lovely experience to write with somebody who is giving you that kind of feedback on what you're putting out there, because usually as an indie writer you're doing it all by yourself and you forget to celebrate the big moments. But like, you know, we kind of like, you finish the book and it's like, yes, like you get to just have that moment together, which was just really, really lovely, you know. So it's, yeah, that's another area where collaboration in indie is really going to help you, because it's going to be giving you that experience, and that was a new experience for me when it comes to writing a novel. So yeah, I thought it was great.
Another thing you mentioned too is, like, yes, navigating all this stuff by ourselves, like trying to figure out how to market, trying to figure out where to get our cover designers. You really need to connect with other writers. Connecting with other writers, other indie writers especially, can help you learn those ropes so you don't fall into those traps, you know? So that's been very helpful with a lot of people that I've connected with, Frasier being one of them. It's like, there's skills that he still has that I don't know about, that I have a great source to go to. And I need, like, how do you get in on anthologies and things like that? It's a great resource.
I think it's probably also helpful in that context to have a private space. Once you've made friends with these people, you know, you can make Discord servers or whatever else have you, but somewhere where you can ask a question of, yeah, is this person legit, without sort of posting that all over the internet, so that it doesn't feel like, you know, and obviously don't, you know, make a Instagram post and tag them in it and say this person feels like a scam. But if you can ask that privately, like a Discord group, that's probably quite helpful.
Yeah, it will happen to me a lot, because my little avatar on social media is a little line drawing of a robot, a writing desk.
Yes.
Which was great when I did it back in like 20 whatever. But like, now that AI is coming, everyone's like, I don't trust this thing. It's like,
You're gonna have to put your face up now.
yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm feeling the pressure to put my face up there, but I don't want to do that to the world. Like, it's already bad enough. It doesn't need like
yes, it
another
does.
disaster.
We gotta know you're
right?
real. You're not created by some AI chatbot.
Just getting a bit bored of people asking you to do capture images like in real time when you're having a chat with them.
Exactly. I'm like, it's a traffic light, okay? I know what a traffic light is.
But I think it's interesting that both of these challenges are sort of tying into community as well. And you were saying that, Frasier, specifically about as part of like a collaboration and having somebody to cheer you on, because you could still find that with a community, or your writer family, as you were calling them last week as well. I was talking to somebody who they had a couple of writer friends who were sort of sharing a chapter a week with each other and kind of withholding some of the feedback, because they were like, if you give me the bad stuff, it's going to kill me and I'm just not going to write the next one. But just able to share that like chapter a week, they could at least go, this bit was awesome, like I loved it, actually, you know, I do want to just read more. And then, you know, you can kind of do it to your own taste, whether or not you want any sort of tweaks or anything. But, you know, you can, if that's something you find useful, or you think you might find useful, you can find other ways to do it, as well as collaboration and working directly on something with people.
Yeah, and being open to the idea of writing with other people. You know, it's something that you see happening in the trad world. It's something that you see happening in different spheres. It's not something you see happening loads in the indie world. Like, I can think of a few different collaborations that have come out in recent years. Think of like the most famous ones. Think of The Expanse, right? Two guys writing together. And it's, you know, they do it well. And it is possible to have that experience as an indie. It's just a case of just adjusting your mindset to what collaboration means, that it's not going to be taking away that freedom. It's going to be sharing the passion that you have with another person. And I think that's a challenge, I think, for many people to overcome, is that idea of, you know, because they've probably become indie because they want complete control over their stories. That's something that appeals to them. So being able to then trust somebody else and say, yeah, I'm going to do this with you, is a very tricky one to navigate. But if you're doing it with the right people who have got that attitude of, this is just going to be fun, let's just have fun with it, then you end up sort of writing a book and and then it's there, and you've done it, and it's like, hey Dawn, guess what? We wrote a book. Like, can you believe it? It's like
It's going to be a bestseller.
I can't wait for people to get their hands on it. But yeah, it's just one of those things of the indie experience. You've got to craft out these kinds of opportunities. You know, you're not going to have somebody coming to you and saying, hey, do you want to write a book together? If collaboration is something you want to do, make the room for it, you know, because it's fun.
Absolutely. I feel like we've still got to play Roll for Insight. So we've had a nice chat there about the sort of the ups and some of the challenges. And I think also installing the virtues of how we can sort of engage with those challenges. So now let's roll some dice. So for those newcomers who may be fresh to the channel with this video, the game Roll for Insight, we all have some lovely 20-sided dice in front of us or beside us, and we're going to roll those dice, and we have a nice random table of questions. So we will pick questions at random to answer. Okay. All right, I've got the questions here. So yes, I think Dawn, would you like to roll first for us, and we'll pick our first question.
All right. 10.
10. Nice, even 10. What's the most random question you've ever been asked about your books, and how did you answer it?
That was a random question. Oh my goodness. You can put me on the spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Frasier, have you got an answer for this?
Yeah.
You like Dawn think?
Yeah. So yeah, I can answer this one. Okay. For Dawn. Well, not for
me, but
yeah. Well, I could probably tell you loads of random questions I've asked Dawn about books, but like so with New Yesterday was my debut novel, and it's set in a world where events in the present can change the past. So it's kind of like causality reversed. It's like you see the effect, and then the world creates the cause. To go along with that, it's a very high concept, and when I was telling people about this, the kind of questions that came back were very random, because people are sort of getting it on like a really specific level. So they'd say sort of like things like, so if I drank like 10 pints and wanted to be sober and not have a hangover, like, is that possible? Which out of context is a very random question, right? Mm-hmm. And I would be able to be like, absolutely, yes. Like, that's, you just have to arrange it so that, you know, you arrange things so that you appear to be sober the next day, and the past will rewrite, and you'll never have had those 10 drinks. It's like, and it's a very weird way that world works. So that resulted in some very strange questions, and probably now I've explained that, people are now thinking, but hang on a minute, how does that work? And I'll probably get more random questions as a result. So feel free to send them my way, guys. I'll answer any questions you want about that.
Questions on a postcard. Yeah. I also enjoy how that might have been quite revealing about the people you were talking to. Like, if I wanted to just binge drink that weekend,
totally. Like if so, let's say I wanted to rob a bank and get away with it. How would you do that in that world? It's like, oh, okay, that's an intro. Well, why go there? It's like, there's lots of. It's a very revealing concept. It was very revealing to me to write. Actually, it was quite fun. But that's probably the book that I've had the most random questions about. Oh, and my other random question that I get asked a lot is, who are you? Which is... That's
not specifically about the books, though, is it? Really, that's more when you're wandering into places you shouldn't be.
I'm like, hi, I'm Frasier. Frasier Armitage, part-time robot, full-time nerd, author of blah blah blah, and people are just like, "Who are you?" Like that's usually how it happens. Or as you say, Alex, I am in an area, and people are like, "Are you supposed to be here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course, yeah." It's me, Frasier. So.
That's another quote. That's another one for the social media.
You know, I can't get through a thing without a bad impression, Alex.
Exactly.
It's like done the checklist. Like...
Dawn, do you have any answers for this question? Then I think I'm also struggling. I'm trying to rack my brain as well. So
I'm just at a complete blank. I'm sure I've been asked many questions. I do a lot of in-person events. The one I guess I love when I'm doing in-person events is like, oh, I have this great idea for a book, and then they proceed to tell me about their book. It is fun. I like talking to people, but it's just funny how that happens. Like, I'm here as author, and
Yeah.
you're not asking me about my books.
Well, they know how good you are at writing collaborations, so that's why they're presumably.
Yeah, they're trying to pitch themselves to you.
That's right. Maybe I'll collaborate with them, but I
Yeah.
wish I had the time. There's only one person I'll collaborate with.
Thanks, Don. Alex, what's the most random question you've been asked about your books?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I'm sort of thinking as we were chatting, and I don't know if I could think of.
So it's not just me.
Yeah, no, I've clearly blocked them out of like, why did you write this? Please, why do you keep shoving it in my face? I mean, the answer to that one was like, Mum, I'd really like you to read it, but
yeah, your mum is terrible for asking random questions, Alex. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
notorious for it.
yeah, I mean, the one she asked most about you is like, who is this guy and why is he
Exactly, it's all Alex's mum. She's like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "It's me." The question that I expect you get a lot about your fantasy series, Alex, is where are the dinosaurs?
Yeah, that is. I get that a lot. Why aren't you writing more dinosaurs? I mean, I'm working on it, but not in the ones that have been published.
Yeah, where's the sassy Allosaurus? I've heard so much about it.
Yeah, he's on his way. He's on his way. Okay, Frasier, do you want to roll for our next question, please?
Oh, I rolled a 1.
A 1.
Yeah.
What's your favorite animal companion in a story?
Oh, yeah. Animal companions. I love animal companions. So, for the Fanfiatic Book Club, I'm going to do a really shameless plug here, but me and MJ Kuhn, who's an amazing author, soon to be indie author, she'll be releasing her first indie book later in the year. Everyone has to check it out. It's awesome. But we reread Of Blood and Fire by Ryan Cahill for the Fanfiatic Book Club. And that book has Fania, which is like a wolf pine in it. And in episode 2, big spoiler alert, if you want to go and sort of like look at the previous episodes, but in episode 2, I was very cross that Fania seemed to have been neglected from the story. So I will die on the hill that is, if you write an animal companion, you have to not forget that they exist when you're writing your book. Not to say that Ryan did that, but yeah. I absolutely love him. I am a sucker for anything. I would say, actually, if I had to pick one and I had to choose to write an animal companion, it would be like a little tiny dinosaur. That would be like
Yes.
Nice.
mini dinosaur, like not Pokemon style, but like, yeah, who wouldn't love to like ride on the back of a T-Rex in a battle? Like, come on.
Exactly.
Be great.
Yeah, Patience acquire.
Can I answer that one too?
Absolutely. We're there for all of us. All these questions of everyone. Yeah.
So one of my 3 heroes in my series, he started out as the anti-hero, but became the hero. And one way that came about was he got exiled to an island, so had to live the rough life, sort of like the Firefly kind of theme. And he ended up with a dog. And when he had to escape that island later and get that dog on a ship, and it's like, how are we going to do this? Where does he go to the bathroom? He and my character ended up in a battle. It's like he's got this dog with him. Well, he found some armor, and so he put the Curious on the dog, so that the dog is armored too. So he's definitely part of the scene in books 6 and 7.
So definitely not forgetting about the animal companion there. In fact, like powering them up very specifically.
What about you, Alex?
Yeah, I think J.E. Hannaford's Aurelian Gates series has got some really lovely animal companions. Moonhounds, so big, big dogs that are sort of, telepathically connected to their sort of handlers. I don't want to say owners because they're, And I also enjoyed how she did that sort of telepathy. It's not sort of like the dog talking. It's almost like sending images sometimes. So I don't know. It's just like an image of like meat. Like, oh, you're hungry, are you? Okay, I'll go get some food. And so that was, very lovely. And seeing them develop, the relationship develop as the books goes on is always very nice. And that's one of the nice things about those sort of connections, is seeing the development.
Do you know what we'll do when we write a sequel to this, Alex, to Moonful of Silver? When we write for a few Moonfuls more, we will include an animal companion, right, Don? Like we'll put like a moondog in there. That would be so good.
A flying chicken.
I was going to say,
Yes,
like,
a
yeah,
flying
the
chicken.
zero-G chickens, yeah.
Perfect. I will say this, right? If I could change my answer, I would, because instead of a tiny little dinosaur, if it's possible, I would have a mini Keanu Reeves as my animal companion. If that's allowed, that would be great.
It will allow it, but he just barks.
His barks sound like whoa.
Exactly.
Oh, you're so good.
100%.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Oh man,
Yeah.
you'd make if you could sell those little tiny barking Keanu Reeves, I think you'd make a killing.
When Keanu listens to this,
Yeah.
you know, and which he obviously does, he's tracing my author career very carefully. But yeah, when he eventually does, just know it's all said with love, Keanu. So yeah.
I will
Yeah, make sure he knows the dog doesn't die.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm bark. Oh dear, that's terrible. Edit that bit out, please.
We'll see. Okay, I will roll the dice for us to get us away from Keanu Reeves. And so I've rolled a 19. What do you listen to when you're writing? It's a nice, more straightforward one. So personally, I tend to sort of try and often I'll have like a playlist that's vaguely thematic with maybe the setting that I'm working with. So I've got a lot of Total War, like Troy at the moment and stuff like that. And so what about you two?
I have on Spotify, it's like called Intense Instrumental or something like that. And so it's got a lot of the theme songs from Spider-Man, Transformers, Superman, Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, and it's no words, just the music.
So I very rarely listen to things when I write. Usually I'm just writing. But for this book, I had a few different things I was listening to. I was obviously listening to Ennio Morricone's soundtracks for the Sergio Leone films, because that music's awesome and it was really useful to get that vibe into it. But also, I have a friend, and we have this strange ability that when we get together, we just sit down with a couple of guitars and we just play. And we had this idea of it would be really cool to write a soundtrack for a spaghetti western movie that didn't exist. So we just spent like an afternoon or something with just recording each other, like playing all of this like spaghetti western style soundtrack music. And when it came to sitting down and writing this, I just had that on, just like our old recordings, and it was really cool because it got me into that creative space straight away. So if you have like a musical ability and you write, that using them together is a really, really useful thing, because it's like a shortcut into getting ideas out there. So I mean, it wasn't very good music, but it was but it was fun. So
well, that sort of got me. I was going to say you could like release that as a special sort of, I don't know, director cut edition of the book, you know, and download an extra track that Fraser's written to.
I was just going to ask if I could get a copy, get a CD, audio file. You know?
Trust me, it's not. It's there's enough bum nuts to make it not worth your while. Let's put it that way.
Okay, right. So we're going to do it.
You know what? It's really crazy though, right? The title of this is really, I've only just twigged this. The title of this, because this is again going back years and years and years ago when we did this. The title of our fake spaghetti western was "The Sun Sets at Dawn," right? And I wrote my spaghetti western on the moon with dawn. Like,
what a coincidence!
Serendipity, right? Like it was destined. It was amazing.
See, the world works in mysterious ways. You get taken to the people you need to meet.
Yeah, you just manifest it and it happens, guys. That's what it is.
Exactly.
Keanu Reeves.
Everybody think about that really hard right now.
Yeah.
Okay, the last round of Roll for Insight is the rapid fire. So we're all going to roll, and then Dawn, if you pick the number you want to answer, and then we can all take a stab at the answer. Right, so everybody roll. Frasier, what have you got?
What did you get, Dawn?
6.
6. I got a 19.
Okay.
And he just had 19.
I just did 19, so
Yeah.
that's fine. And I got a 3, so 3 or 6.
3.
3. Okay, good. I'm glad you picked this one because this is very sci-fi aligned. Star Trek versus Star Wars.
Oh, that's gonna. Ooh, my answer will tick off a lot of people because there is
That's
no
what we
way to
want.
answer that either way.
We want the controversy. That's what we get the views for.
I honestly like them both. The original Star Wars, the first 3 that came out, definitely. Star Trek Next Generation, later seasons, I think. Those are my favorites. It would be hard to choose between them. I watched both of them like over and over so many times. I'll never get tired of them.
I mean, like, if you were to take The Empire Strikes Back and pitch it against like the best Star Trek Next Generation episodes, there's like nothing in it. There's like they are both so good. Like, let's take like Star Trek 2 Wrath of Khan and The Empire Strikes Back. They're both perfect sequels. It's like, yeah, it's amazing. I feel like it shouldn't be a versus, but it probably is. However, I'm going to take this in a different question because I love both of them. And I'm going to say, if you had a Star Destroyer versus the Enterprise, that would be a very interesting versus. Like, to see like Darth Vader versus the Borg. Like, what would happen there,
that
right?
would be good. Oh, see, I love how you lean things. I love it. Yes.
Yeah, because like Darth Vader's got the Force, right? But the Borg are the Borg. So like, can you imagine if the Borg got the Force?
Oh my gosh, a hive mind with a Force? Oh,
Can
my
you
goodness.
imagine? Like, they couldn't be Sith because there's more than 2 of them. Or there's only 1 of them. There could never be 2. The rule of 2 would be broken, right? That's how you destroy the Sith. The Jedi should have just got the Borg. No, I feel as though that is a much more interesting versus to me than which do you prefer. It's like, let's take stuff from each and let's mash them together. Like, why not, right?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
What about you, Alex?
You could destroy the Borg by letting them turn somebody with the Force.
Yes.
That would destroy them.
Yeah, pump them full of midichlorians, and then it's like the Force then communes with them, and then you've got this thing that's different to the collective. You've got this other voice going on in your head. That's how they freed Locutus. It's like, wasn't any Dr. Crusher was like, right, I'm gonna have to show him actually a Jedi now. I'm gonna just use the Force. Right, this is how I'm gonna do it. Like, yeah. Beverly Crusher, Secret Jedi. I want to write that fan fiction.
I feel like what we're actually seeing here is you just like in real time brainstorming your next book.
Yep.
Yeah. Beverly Crusher, Secret Jedi, Paramount, or like whoever it is that has the rights, Disney, right? You know where I am. When you want to make that series, you just let me know. Yeah. What about you, Alex? Star Wars versus Star Trek?
I think I've just always gravitated more towards Star Wars. I haven't watched as much Star Trek to be able to, I think, give this the question the amount of thought it deserves, in that I haven't seen as much Star Trek as I should have, and I'm just more of a fantasy guy. So the Star Wars, I think, sits very firmly in the space fantasy camp. So yes, that's my answer. Of the I don't know enough to comment. Essentially, I've got passing Star Trek knowledge, although I much prefer the whole post scarcity ness of Star Trek and just asking your computer for some tea.
Earl Grey, hot. That would change the Star Wars universe, right?
Yeah,
just a replicator. Like,
Exactly.
imagine just like, I need another lightsaber. Like, that's it. Like,
Yeah.
done.
Again, you know, that's just you know, Darth Vader going lightsaber hot. It changes
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah, that'd be really handy.
Yeah.
Really handy.
Do you think it would account for like Yoda's speech patterns, or would it give him like the wrong thing all the time?
Grey Earl hot.
Exactly. Just this really pallid Earl
actually,
comes down
When
quite
you think
warm.
about it, Earl Grey hot is a Yoda grammar, because you would say, "Oh, I'll have a hot Earl Grey."
Yeah.
Normally, I think, do you know what? Maybe that's why Picard is so wise, because he's been trained by Yoda.
Yeah.
Maybe Picard is an early version of Yoda, and he's just going to shrivel and go green, and his ears are going to go big, and that's going to be it. Like, so make it. Yeah.
Again, I feel like we're just seeing in real time the storylines just branching out.
Beverly Crusher, Secret Jedi, and then Picard as like the origin story for Yoda. Yeah, that would be. Do you know what? I would be so happy. So happy. It'd be great. Please put a stop to this, Dawn.
Next question.
Well, I was going to say, I think that neatly wraps us up. That madness is a good note to wrap up this week. So thank you so much, Dawn and Frasier, for joining me here at Spotlight Indie and being our guests here. It's been a tremendous pleasure to chat to you both. So I hope you've enjoyed your time here as well, and not been too put on the spot by all the questions. So to wrap us up, could you please let us know where people can find you on the socials and your books and stuff like that? So Dawn, could you please let people know where they can find you and your books?
I'm pretty much at all the ebook retailers, Amazon, Kobo, Google Play. I also have my own website, shop.donrossauthor.com. My website is donrossauthor.com. All my social handles are donrossauthor. Yeah.
Perfect. Frasier, what about you? Where can people find you apart from where you shouldn't be?
You'll find me with Alex's mum. I am at Frasier Armitage everywhere. You can find us. You can find me on my website as well, FrasierArmitage.com. You can find me and MJ on at the Fanfare Addict Book Club. You can find me also on Spotlight Indie in various capacities, as I'm sure everybody is aware of by now, and everyone's thinking, yeah, we know this, shut up, Frasier, just move on. So all of those places you can find me, and you can find my books on Amazon. They are the most recent ones, because I have them with me, so I feel like I have to thingy them. So Stitch Between Worlds, Cage of Stars. So yeah, go check them out.
Perfect. And don't forget to go, if you haven't already done it, go and pre-order A Moonful of Silver, the amazing space western by these two lovely authors. So thank you again. You can also find Spotlight Indie at spotlightindie.co.uk. We've got a fantastic online event coming up, another big indie weekend coming up. It's going to have loads of amazing panels, loads of live stuff going on. So be sure to check that out. Go check out our socials for like exactly the details. And then we've also got an in-person event coming up this year, which we are so super excited about, because the first one was just amazing and we haven't had a chance to do one yet until this year. So that's going to be in Shrewsbury, but there'll be details on the website and etc. So go check those out. So yeah, and just stick around, check out the rest of the channel, check out these guys' lovely stuff, and thank you for joining us. So thank you so much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.